Hi, I'm going to do this video to talk about a software that I'm using during the pandemic period to teach. Before this pandemic, we were using our computers to research, to gather information, to receive information, organize it, and probably show some pictures or some videos to our children. After the pandemic, our computers got a different function. We are now using our computers to transmit, to broadcast information to our children. And this software that I'm talking about allows us to control how we send the information. It empowers our webcams. It allows us to combine multiple sources of image. The software, it's free and it's open source. It's this Open Broadcaster Software, OBS project. You can download it for Windows, macOS, and Linux. And the software is this that we are seeing on the screen. The children via their Google Meet or Zoom will only see what is in this image. They will not see this gray or these menus. These menus are our control room to take care of what we will show to children. And in my case, this is my introduction room. So when the child comes to the classroom, the first thing that the child sees is this picture of my classroom in school, their classroom also. And we talk a little bit, we say good morning, and then when I change scene, it appears here one end and pictures that I use to ask them how they feel today. So we talk about our emotions, and we start from here trying to develop language. For instance, with an advanced student, I would ask him, why do you feel calm but not happy? And I would try to extend his or her language. With a child who has more difficulties, who only says happy, I would try to extend her sentence and ask her to repeat. So repeat after me. Today I am happy. And I would allow the child to start increasing their sentences and improving their language. Then we have this kind of slide where we have the lyrics of our morning song, and this is helpful for parents, for my co-teacher, because when I move to another place or to another scene, I'm kind of taking the class with me, parents, my co-teacher, and children. So after a few days, they know that after this slide comes this one and the good morning song. They stand up, we dance the song, and in each one of these scenes, I will have the sources that I need: the microphone, my Sony camera, this one, my morning song, and my classroom, the picture of my classroom in the background. Then I go for the rules, and it's much easier than showing children pictures. I have them already there, so this makes the work or the teacher's job much easier. And I have here my hand if I need to underline any of these pictures. Then we have our Mighty Minute, and again I have here the instructions. In this Mighty Minute, this 126, it's not very helpful, but in others we have lyrics of songs, and it's very helpful for parents and my co-teacher to follow, for us to be all in the same page. Then for today's class, I have this video behind me, and I want to show children a barrel wave. So I will play the video and I will show them. And with this software, with the Open Broadcaster Software, I can interact with the movie behind me. Children are not seeing this square. I can use it to interact with the video, and while the child is seeing the video, I can make my surprise faces, my wondering faces. I can express all my emotions while I'm having the perception of the video. So it's like if I can keep communicating with them even when I am showing them the video. And I can also interact with the video, and that gives me control from what I want to show and to stop when I want. And while I'm doing this part with the video, I am somehow recalling previous knowledge about the beach, about waves, about surfboards, about barrel waves, all those things. And then I can go to the slide with the vocabulary or the word of the day. Today is barrel wave. We have a trilingual community, or dual learners are learning or have as a first language at home Spanish or Portuguese. So I have here the three languages. With my hand I can ask them for the letters. We can talk a little bit about the word in itself. We can show pictures to illustrate what we have seen before, to show them barrel waves, and to talk about the meaning of a barrel, characteristics of a barrel. And while I'm doing this, I have in this scene for vocabulary all these pictures here, and I have all these elements, all these sources combined to make a scene. I can, when I'm talking about one picture, I can move that picture, and this will help me to have the attention of all the students. I can play with them and say, where am I? Where am I now? Sometimes they laugh about these silly things and they get a little bit happy. And that helps them to learn. If they are in a happy environment, it's easier for them to learn. They relax and they can see the pictures, they can talk about them, they can listen their friends. And for this kind of pictures, I use usually a specific format. I don't use JPG pictures. I use PNG, and I use this PNG Egg website where I do the downloads of things that I want. And if you see these squares around the picture, it's because they are transparent. They will be transparent in our images, and that leaves more space around the picture and less distraction. So in a regular picture, I would have this background occupying a space that I don't need, and creating distraction, because probably it would have other elements disturbing what I was trying to focus. And also I use these PNG pictures because they have a vectorial format, so when we make them bigger they don't lose resolution. They keep their resolution, so they don't get those pixels as pictures like this will get. So if I increase this picture a lot, at a certain point this picture will start having lots of pixels and distortion, and they would lose their resolution. With these ones, that usually never happens because they are prepared for that purpose. So after talking about these things on my presentation, I could also read a definition from barrel wave, and I could use this hand, so the child keeps having the sense that we read from the left to the right, from top, bottom. So this is a good helper, this pointer. Then I would follow to the question of the day. In the video I would already prepared, and I would drop the word surfboard. So at this point I can read the question of the day. Do you know what this is? ¿Sabes lo que es esto? Você sabe o que é isso? And I would point, I would make the picture bigger, I would recall the video. Remember that thing that those gentlemen in the video had on their feet? And I would prepare them for the question of the day. And then comes an important part of my work and of this software. So in this scene we can combine different cameras. We can combine pictures but also different cameras, and in this case I can combine this camera in front of my face, that is this Sony, and I can combine another camera, the IPVO camera, that is a document camera that is filming my paper. And here I can write with my hand the question that I want to practice for shared writing. Why do you? And I would keep writing, and the children will be seeing my hand, and at the end of the question I would write the name of each child, and I would write the child's answer. And while I'm doing this, I am showing my hand to each child. I am showing them how to hold the marker, and probably, as with you adults, the child will be activating the mirror neuron system. So the same network of neurons that I activate while I am writing, when the child is watching my hand writing, is also activating in herself this kind of neurons. And this is a way for me to keep showing or to keep helping the child to develop the neurological conditions or the neurological network that the child needs to write by himself or herself. So I use the cameras with always trying to have a pedagogical purpose. I use the camera for my face as much as I can, so I can keep showing my motions, and I use this camera to show my movements, and also for or small groups. For instance, I have for today's small group, I have to talk about the amounts of things that are on each bag, and I will have to count with the child how many do we have on this bag. And we would count 1, 2, 3, 4. If the child is more developed in mathematical terms, probably will be able to look to the amount and say immediately 4, or say immediately 3 coins. 1, 2, 3. And then I can ask questions like which one has more, which one has fewer, and it's very easy for me as a teacher to use my hands while I'm doing the small group and keeping communicating with my student at the same time. I don't have to move the camera. I don't have to come here and put my hands on the top and hold lots of things in front of me, etc. It would be difficult with this camera, and with this software I can combine both cameras, and I can keep moving my information, my objects, and I can order them. I can keep having a good communication with the children. In today's group, we had to use this bag, so we kept the amounts together, but I can also talk with him about properties of physical objects like colors, what is the shape, is a 2D picture or a TV. We could always use this space here to keep communicating and doing our small groups in a more intuitive way. The software can be used on a daily basis for this kind of things, and I can also record videos. So we have this function, start recording, and I can use this to read my books. I know that we have sites like Epic, or we could also record or take pictures to a book and read using those pictures. But when we use a set of cameras like this, we can keep showing our reactions to the book or emotions. For instance, Ruby's baby brother, I see here Ruby's. I can do a sad face. I can show empathy for Ruby while she is sad, and I can use my hand to read the text, left to the right, top to the bottom. I am giving them a sense of the reading. I can point to details. You see Ruby's baby, and where are mother and father, Ruby's mother and father looking? Are they looking to Ruby, or are they looking to the baby? And we can talk about our emotions, and I can mimic, I can mirror these emotions, and I am keeping communicating with my tone of voice and with my facial expression to children. And at a certain point I can show my happy face, and we keep communicating. And I can record the book with this start recording function. I can introduce myself to the child with this slide, where I can show the cover of the book, the title, the story, the author and the illustrator, and then I can read the analogical book. It's not a digital one. The child can have a sense of the real book on this system. At the end, I stop recording and I just upload to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I can have these videos that I use OBS to read. And these videos, I believe I can use them not only now in the pandemic, in the remote learning or remote teaching, but also when this finish, children can receive these videos at home in apps like Class Dojo or this one that we are using this year, and it's very useful, Class Tag, because I write my text in English and, for instance, today's activities, and my Spanish language parents will read las actividades de hoy, and my Portuguese parents will read as atividades de hoje. And I can send, even if we are in presence teaching, they can have access to these videos. They can reread the story at home, and I can occupy a little of technology time that they have at home with age-appropriate stories, with development-appropriate stories. So these stories are chosen by Creative Curriculum. They are appropriate to my children, and they can have access to them even after reading them in the school, even after going through the book and the class. So at the end of the day, or after reading my book, I turn back to my house. So this is a kind of virtual picture. You see my arm is disappearing, and this is a green screen that I have on my background, and I'm leaving my classroom. And I'm coming home. And I have my real room here. So this is one of the abilities that this app has. It has a chroma key filter that turns all the greens behind me in this picture that I have on my background. So this classroom that I have on my background can disappear, and the real picture of the place where I am is this one. And I think we can see here lots of potential for this app. I am very happy to use it. There's also one that is more intuitive. It's Manicam, and it has pictures. It has it's more intuitive, and it has also resources to use in your classrooms. It has animal pictures. It has pictures organized by categories, and you can change those galleries, etc. So for this video, I will put an end here, and I hope you can also use it, or maybe download it and do a test drive to the software. Thank you for your attention, and enjoy the Open Broadcaster software.